Hi and welcome to The Winning Factor. I'm Alan Aitken, and on this show each week we take a look at some upcoming races in Hong Kong and try to find an angle to the race that might lead us to the winner. Well, group racing back again on Sunday at Sha Tin. It's the Sha Tin Trophy, and the top horses in Hong Kong who haven't already resumed for the season will be doing so in this race by and large, including Voyage Bubble. So plenty to look at there. That's not one of the races that I'm going to do on this show though. First race we're going to take a look at is race 6, and the winning factor here, the stable change. So this is class 4, 1200 metres, and I think it's quite a fascinating contest. Spicy Standard and Patch of Time chased home the very promising Packing Phoenix last time and have chances, but I do think the major players will be Packing Phoenix again after that impressive debut, and Pejibe having his first run for the Casper Founds Yard. So first of all to Packing Phoenix, and after some very good trials in New Zealand and then when he arrived in Hong Kong, he was sent out for his racing debut as a 1.5 favourite and did the job in pretty good style. This is race 49, he's in gate 6, blue and white hoops, Packing Phoenix. He jumps well. Spicy Standard here is in gate 1, red, white and blue, and slow to jump in the yellow and blue from barrier 4 is Patch of Time. So Packing Phoenix gets a dream trip through the race. He's found a back to follow fairly early and a horse to cart him into the straight without going especially fast. Spicy Standard is on his back, and a Patch of Time gives both a start. So the favourite is never really going to lose here, though he does get a bit of a scare late in the race when Spicy Standard comes at him strongly. So that was a very good debut effort. The final sectionals were very strong, and that looks like pretty good form. And I've often highlighted on the show how horses who are able to win at their racecourse debut win their second start as well at a strike rate of around about 50%. So that's a strong pointer to that horse's chances of going in again on Sunday. Now for the other main chance, Pejibe, well, we have to go back to last season when he had 4 starts for Jamie Richards, performed pretty well in all of them, but went closest to winning at his final appearance. And this is race 831 last season, gate 1 with green and orange colours, and Pejibe is out okay, and Andrea Atzeni has him quickly into the box seat, and that's where he stays until approaching the home turn. Now, at that point, Atzeni decides to leave the rail and come out and try to get into clear room so that he can go out and after Diva's 12 in front of him. Now, I'd probably have to say he has his chance here. He's certainly not unlucky. He can't quite get there, but he goes very close to winning his first race. Now, his other runs had been at 1200 metres. They were all full of merit as well. And this is a horse who does show a bit of promise. Now, in the meantime, since that run we just saw and now, he's been transferred across to Casper Founds. He's had 2 barrier trials for Founds, both of them excellent, and he looks like he's wound up and ready. And Founds' record with these horses coming from other trainers certainly would suggest that is likely. So this is the last 10 years and the top 10 trainers of the current group with horses running first time off other trainers. And Founds has one of the best strike rates and also is clearly ahead of market expectations with these horses. And that's a good record to be maintaining. As you can see, he does have quite a lot of these runners compared to other trainers and is still a leader in the category. And while Packing Phoenix will still take some beating, even with the 14 pounds between him and Pejibe, I do think that the map is another area where Pejibe looks to get his chance. So Yin Glory and Packing Phoenix are probably as fast as any of the runners here, and I do think Purton will look to make more use of Packing Phoenix this time from a wider draw, with Spicy Standard, good chap, and even Emblazon probably looking to hold positions inside him, even if they might not be looking for the lead. Meantime, Alice Wong's job is to get Pejibe safely out of the gates, so he'll have the softest of runs following the speed from gate 1 and keeping his energy for the finish. So the tip from me in race 6, Pejibe, his winning factor, the stable change. Now, Packing Phoenix will be the favourite here, and probably rightly so. He's a promising young horse. Only the one start for one win. He's a little bit more stickily drawn this time than he was for his first start. He's up in the weights a little bit, and I think that's going to make his task just a touch more difficult and give Pejibe his chance, because he's getting a lot of weight off the favourite. He's drawn to suit, he gets a great map, and we've seen that Casper Founds has a great record with these horses having their first start for the stable from other yards. The other race I want to take a look at is race 9, and our winning factor here, the map. This is class 3, 1400 metres, and quite a good standard of contest. A few talented horses here, but I think you can boil the real winning chances down to just 3 top contenders. John Size trained Brilliant Express, Everyone's Star resuming for the new season, and Harold Wynn. Now, when we get to the map, you'll see that Everyone's Star does have a few obstacles in his way. So I'm going to focus just on the other two, Brilliant Express and Harold Wynn, who look to get nice runs in the race. And first of all, let's take a look at what they bring. And Brilliant Express resumed this season over 1200 metres in Class 2. Things really didn't work out in an ideal fashion. So this is race 53. He's in gate 7, purple with yellow stars. And Brilliant Express is one of the last to jump. So with a genuine pace on, Alexi Bedell ends up having to drop across to the rail at the tail of the field and hope that the leaders overdo it and come back to him later. They didn't. The good tempo continued to the turn and then stayed on in the straight, so it was tough to make up all that ground, but there was nothing wrong with how Brilliant Express kept on strongly at the finish. Now he comes back down to Class 3, but up to 1400 metres, a distance where he's already won 3 times. Meanwhile, Harold Wynn has had a couple of runs this season already, and his latest, well, there's an argument he might have been a touch unlucky to be beaten on the line. He's in gate 2, aqua colours, pink blinkers, and Jerry Chow has Harold Wynn out quickly from the gates and trailing the leaders. Now the pace is just fair and he gets a nice soft trip, but I think there's a key moment here with the leaders slowing in the approach to the home straight. Now, when they turn in, the leaders don't open up as they might in a faster tempo. So Harold Wynn gets held up behind them until the 200 metres instead of being on his way. Did it make a difference? Possibly, possibly not, but I'm sure his backers would argue differently after he was being run down right on the post here. And I want to highlight that for a reason, because it could happen again. When we look at Sunday's map, the pace is okay, likely leaders Mask Rider switching to turf for the first time in Hong Kong and riding together with his light handicap. Now, Pertin on Everyone's Star, as I mentioned, does have a bit to think about from the wide draw. This horse has mostly been ridden well back in his races. He's not completely devoid of tactical speed. It's a case of whether Zach wants to gamble on using it and perhaps getting a tough trip, or whether he doesn't use it and gives away a big start. But the fine details of the map are interesting too. Hugh Bowman on Brilliant Express looks like landing outside Jerry Chow and Harold Wynn, and that might give Hughie the chance to pocket Chow and get first run of the pair. So the tip from me in race 9, Brilliant Express. His winning factor, the map. Now, I think it's the map in general which separates 2 chances here from the rest of the field, but just the way that this sets up with their relative positions in the run of the home turn, I think that might just give a tactical edge to Hugh Bowman on Brilliant Express. Well, that's it from the winning factor this week. Good luck on Sunday, enjoy the Group 2, we'll see you next time.